What is going on, everyone? This is Andrew O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is February 1st, 2021. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content, and I will continue to make it for you. This is actually take two of this video. I had a bit of an audio issue for the first take, so I'm just re-recording it. But today we're going to be going through a bunch. We're going to talk about some quick housekeeping items, including some big news I'd like to share with you all. We'll go through the price action, the headline indices. We'll go under the hood and check out our sectors and style factors. Take a look at some of my trades and how I reoriented my portfolio. And then we'll wrap up with some options order flow. But before we jump in, quick risk disclaimer. Nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. So let's jump right into it. So first things first, as you all know, I'm competing in the 2021 Investing Championship. I reported my first month of results and, corroborated with my brokerage statement. I finished up for the month of January plus 23.6%, which I am very happy with. I came out of the gate pretty hot for 2021, had some really nice options winners. I got a bit caught up in the volatility of last week. I was up at one point about like 45%. I was like, am I going to hit 50 this month? Ended up with 23.6%. So I'm really happy with that. That's one of my best months ever. And really for this competition, I'm just focusing on let me think about how I went about my trading in 2020, and I'm just going to try to do better than that. It doesn't even have to be better in terms of returns, just better process, and really just better execution, better mindset, really everything. And I think if I do that, the chips will fall the right way for me. And so far, doing pretty good. So that's first order of business. Second order of business, I am no longer working with Leduc Trading. Pretty much, Leduc Trading and myself, it really just wasn't a fit. We came to a mutual decision that, I would be leaving and focusing on my investing championship, my own proprietary trading. And I am going to be launching my own trading service under the Pristine Capital banner. So more to come on that. I feel super comfortable doing engaging with clients, offering up the trade ideas, the investing insights, all that sort of stuff. And that was what I really loved about working for Leduc Trading, where I got to interact with all the clients. A lot of the clients were really cool people, really funny. I learned a lot about trading and investing through them as well. So I want to keep that going. So I am going to be launching my own trading service. And I've been working on a website. And really just some of the logistics behind the scenes. So you can see here, this is just a little, shell of a website that I have right now. I started this maybe a while back and then just never went back to it. But this is pristinecapital.org. I'm actually working with a web developer, and, he's going to, pretty much revamp this website and really adapt it for what I need. Right now, this is just a shell. My girlfriend actually helped me make this one, way back in the day. I think she did a pretty good job for an amateur, but, we're really going to enhance this and, make it so that clients can onboard to the service, all that stuff. I'm actually looking right now as to whether I'm going to be using a private Twitter or a Discord channel, a Slack channel, all that stuff. So, bear with me while I work out the logistics. I'm going to try to move on this very quickly. So you'll be receiving, more updates in the next couple weeks. If you are interested, I'm going to leave my email address in the description to this video. So feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to be a charter member. And I will definitely add you into the group and really keep you up to date as I'm moving along through the process of, creating the site, all that stuff. But yeah, definitely let me know. Another thing too is clients were paying about, $350 a month to really get access to, my trading ideas, trading insights, in real time. And, I grew up in this industry at the Vanguard Group, which was all about, democratizing investing, really for everyone, being very inclusive, trying to have low costs, low fees. and really just, provide the most, bang for your buck in terms of investors. So my offering is likely going to be at a lower price point because my goal is, I'm not really trying to like, just go with like a super steep price and then make it hard for, people to get value out of this service. I want it to just be like a very mutually beneficial agreement. So I'm going to be working on pricing as well, but that's going to be coming down, for people that are used to, interacting with me at my prior outfit. So more to come on that. But definitely send me, shoot me an email if you're, interested in coming aboard, because I would love to have you. So that is about it on that. I will keep you updated on that. But let's jump into the real reason why we're all here. Let's talk about these crazy markets. So we finished today's trading session with the S&P 500 up 1.66%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ up 2.5%. We had the IWM small caps up 2.46%. And we had the Dow Jones lagging a bit behind, up 0.74%. Oh my gosh, and futures just open and they're up. Let's go. So last week, we had the whole GameStop drama, which I think was really like, now that we're in this world of like continuous media, everybody's in their smartphones, a lot of people are quarantined, they're consuming a lot more news. People can get really sucked into the news. And like last week, they really made it seem like the world was going to end or like the financial system was going to crash because Robinhood was having a liquidity issue. So if you think about it, like, it's kind of like comical in a way because it's like, oh, Robinhood, that really small brokerage firm that nobody serious who manages money even trades at. And then, with the drama of this story, then it's like Robinhood's going under. This is our Lehman moment. The whole financial system's going to crash. And, all the metrics that I was looking at over the weekend, I sent out a note to Leduc clients. I send something out every single week, and I go through like credit spreads, financial conditions, all that stuff, cross-asset vols. Nothing was really indicating like huge stress in the markets. So I came into today's session, very long. And it sort of worked out where the market was just pretty strong. It could have easily gone the other way as well. But yeah, you can see I was kind of concerned coming into today's session because we were potentially going to open up below the monthly value area low, which, for me signals a downtrend. But luckily today we had a strong move into this monthly value area. And you can see we closed right around that downward trend line I drew. So long as we are inside of this monthly value area, I would say that things are, neutral at worst. And, if we can, since we're coming from below the monthly value area into it, that to me is definitely, leaning to the bullish side. So this is good. We'll have to see if it continues. But yeah, definitely, really nice to see we're above that 5-day EMA and now within the monthly value area. We'll really quickly jump over to the Qs. You can see very similar story. Last week, one of the narratives was that, okay, all these hedge funds, they have to puke up their, short book, essentially like covering their shorts. And since they are under such portfolio pressure and potentially even, facing redemptions from their funds, they also had to unload their long book. So you can see the Qs, which hold like Apple, Facebook, Netflix, all those big companies, was really under pressure for the past couple days and had a very strong bounce today. You can see the Qs are pushing up on their monthly value area high. So looking pretty good on the Qs. IWM looked like it was on the verge of slipping into the abyss. And you can see it had a nice recovery, a little stick-save recovery here. You can see on Friday's trading session, it closed well below the 20-day simple moving average. And we were able to remount the 20-day simple moving average, the 5-day EMA, and we closed right around that monthly point of control. So looking okay. Let's see, my toss, I think it wants to quit on me. So I'm going to pull up my trading view. Bear with me one sec. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. My pristinecapital.org. And as of right now, that's just a shell. So if you go to it, you're going to be like, why are there all these like dead links here? And like nothing's completed, and that's because the site's really like under construction. So let's see. All right, I'll pull up our trading view. I'm going to close these guys out. There we go. Wait for the program to respond. Close this out. Here we go. And here is my trading view. Okay. Yeah, so we have that for the headline indices, and then the Dow Jones, you can see, really was just kind of continuing its, sideways to lower drift. The Dow Jones is not really concentrated with a bunch of like futuristic tech companies that are changing the world or anything like that. So whenever we get one of these like big sell-offs, like you can see people weren't like rushing into the Dow to reestablish positions. It was mostly, the Qs, the SPY, and then the IWM small caps. Let's see. Yeah, so the Dow, you get a feel for the Dow. Let's see. So we're going to pull up our sectors and style factors here. And if we take a look, you can see that overall this was just a really broad bounce in the market. The only sector that was down for today was the XRT, which has GameStop in it. And that was another really nice tell that the markets were going to be okay today. GameStop, that squeeze was causing a lot of stress in the system. And you could see that GameStop, closed really weak today. I believe it closed down like 20% or somewhere in that vicinity. You can see XRT, only style factor down. KWeb, I actually have the 90, 95, 100 butterfly on in KWeb. I picked that up for less than $1. So we will see. That is me playing for KWeb to be, between like $91 and about $99 for the February 19th expiration. You can see biotech also had a really nice bounce. These ARK funds had a really nice bounce. Semis. There's really just a lot of life coming back into this market. If we look at the style factors, you can see cyclicals and momentum were our best performing style factors today. And then the worst performing style factor was high div, low vol, which to me shows, pretty bullish sentiment in the markets. In the days leading up to that little like mini correction, we had high div, low vol outperforming. So that was sort of like a yellow flag. And let's take a look. We'll pull up some of the trades and things that I had on my watch list. So today, coming into the day, sometimes I'll come in and my portfolio is just like firing on all cylinders. Today I was having some issues in the morning where I was like, man, the market is pretty strong. Some of the names that I'm in are behaving kind of weak today. So I had some February calls on in Carnival Cruises. And you can see Carnival Cruises was sort of like a bottom fishing play for me. I had on, like I said, the February call options with a 20 strike price. Carnival was just not showing any sort of strength. And pretty much, I just have no time to keep something like this in my portfolio. So I closed those out for about a 30% loss. Just kept it moving. I was like, there's no way I can keep this in. I closed out Big C as well. What I did, I had a pretty overweight position in Big C. And I'll show you where I added it. And I also talked about this in my recap videos. Yeah, for Big C. There we go. I'm going to close this out over here. Yeah, so Big C, I started adding to this position down here in the 60s. I added here, added a second piece right here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to ride this out. Big C, I rode it all the way up into the 90s. Now you can see over the past couple days, it's pulling back Granted, it is on lower volume, so that sort of is what you want to see, but it just wasn't showing me enough relative strength to justify being such an overweight position in my portfolio. So I closed out half of my calls at about like a 30 to 40% gain. I left the other half on the books. I was like, you know what, I'm going to reallocate to a different trade. I had a couple of trades like that today where I was like, you know what, it's not really showing so much strength in this green tape, so I'm not going to be allocated to it. Jumia was really strong today. I ended up adding to this one. I got a really good entry here, so I was pretty pumped about that. I got in, on this lower end of the wick right here. When it reclaimed that 5-day EMA, I was right in there. Yeah, and then Jumia later on in the day ended up having some news, a rumor that Amazon could be acquiring the business. I have no idea if that's true or not, but the price action in Jumia has just been really strong over the past, 2 weeks or so. So I really like this one. I'm very optimistic about it moving forward. I added that into the portfolio. Another stock that I added was Tiger. And this was one where on this run right here, I was like, man, there's nowhere I can even enter this stock. Like, it's really not pulling back. Luckily, with this volatility spell, we did end up getting a pullback. I jumped into Tiger when it was up, maybe like 8 to 10% on the day. And I thought I was getting in late. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm super late on this trade, whatever. And it ended up moving up, like 18%. So this one looks like it wants new highs. And I really like, just the relative strength it's showing, the look. It's another Chinese name. And, I already have exposure to those names through KWeb. It just seems like the Chinese equities are showing a lot of strength. So I'm like, okay, this one is a leader within a sector that's showing, really nice strength. MGNI was another one that I added. Magnite and digital advertising. This is another name that I've been following for quite some time. And I've always missed the entry on it. This one I did not miss. So I jumped into Magnite also when it was up like 8% or something. And I was like, all right, I'm kind of late on this one too. Ended up finishing up, 12.59%. This is another one. I just really like this setup. Looks super clean. And I would imagine if the market continues to show strength, this one should see new highs very quickly. So we'll see what happens, but threw that one on in the books as well. And then what else did I do here? Oh yeah, CrowdStrike. I had some February calls in here that I bought, during the craziness last week. I believe I bought them on like this candle right here. Or I may have bought them on this one. I forget which candle I bought. I put it in my video, but I had, really short-term calls, the Februaries, and I had a nice run the past couple days, and I was up maybe like 50 or 60% of my position. Crowd just didn't really look like it was showing much strength today. So I ended up closing out Crowd for about like a 30% gain, something like that. I figured, hey, these are super short-term options anyway. I'll, sort of parlay that into a different trade, and we'll see what happens. I'll just take the win there. Yeah, so did a fair amount of trading and just kind of like realigning the portfolio. But I feel much more comfortable with where I'm sitting now in terms of my risk and, just which names I'm really focusing on. So that about does it for my trades. Let's take a quick look at some options order flow. And let me just pull it up right here. All right, here we go. Let me just refresh this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, I see an order for plug right here in front of me. This is for September of 2021. There's this order right over here. Plug, I was looking at this chart earlier. Looks pretty strong. It's like Plug just announced an equity offering a couple days ago, and the stock was really unfazed by it. So I don't know what's going on here, but players continue to accumulate this stock. So you can see I rode Plug from about, I purchased in after hours right over here. I entered the stock at around a little sub 40. So I rode it from about $39 up to about 70 and change. And I closed out my position. Plug actually looks pretty interesting for a re-entry because I always love it when a company announces a secondary offering, the market just gobbles it right up. That to me shows strength, and I see we're approaching this 20-day simple moving average. So I'll have to see if a plug looks, very interesting to me. I see we've got some GameStop orders. I don't want to beat the dead horse on that one. Novavax, NVAX right here, I'm seeing an order for. And NVAX had another blow-off day. So NVAX, I believe, popped due to some vaccine news. I forget exactly what it was. And it had a really big gap up and then extended range green candle. You can see today it had a really nice follow through. So this one, hats off to whoever had, the guts to buy this thing, towards the upper end of this candle, because they got paid today. So good on them, whoever did that. Let's see what else we got. So we got the GameStop orders. Let's actually see what GameStop is doing. I know everybody's like obsessed with GameStop now. Let's see. Yeah, you can see GameStop. It's just not really it's not really looking too hot, for me. Because it's not really following any clear technical pattern. It's just kind of all over the place, super volatile. I would imagine if you're an intraday scalper, this thing is probably heaven. Just to go long, go short, all that stuff. There's probably crazy levels to play. But yeah, it finished down about 30% today. So there's definitely people that bought at 400 plus that are diamond hands, I'm not going to sell. At some point, this thing is probably going to crash down. But I don't really care that much about GameStop. I am probably not going to enter a position in it anytime soon. So yeah, I don't really have any skin in that game. And then let's see what else we had. And I see a Tesla order. Tesla, I think, has been a little bit, flying under the radar. It might be a little bit weaker right now, actually. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Okay, yeah, Tesla had a nice bounce back day. So you can see Tesla remounted that 20-day simple moving average. Yeah, Tesla doesn't really look that bad here, at all. So I'll probably be looking at Tesla as well. That about does it for this market recap video. Like I said, I will be posting, my email address in the description of this video. If you're interested in the service I'm going to be launching, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll definitely include you and just sort of keep you in the loop as to what's going on. With that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow.